Laurel. Laurel. Yanny. Yanny. Laurel. Laurel. Hello, welcome to Deconstructing the Voice. Today we are discussing the Laurel-Yanny controversy. The internet recently exploded over the controversy of a sound clip with people debating whether or not it was Laurel or Yanny. So to start off, it's been several weeks since it first exploded on the internet. I think the Laurel-Yanny controversy has mostly run its course, but they interviewed the voice actor, everything. The answer is that he is saying Laurel. But where does Yanny come from? That's the question, and that's what we're going to discuss today. Where does the Yanny come from? He is saying Laurel. Yanny is a natural vocal acoustic phenomenon called vocal overtones. So when he was saying the word Laurel, his pharynx, the level of his larynx, and the nasopharynx were all working in common to create a resonance that is an octave, 2 octaves, something like that, above the actual word that he said. And this is something that opera singers spend their entire career trying to master, which they call chiaroscuro. Chiaro being the clear or the higher pitches, and scuro being the lower pitches, the actual fundamental that you are generating. So I've been trying to adjust the drive and the gain in order to manipulate what you hear, and now I can. So this is the gain. The gain is essentially the volume. So here's a lower gain, here's a higher gain, lower gain, higher gain. So I'm going to set it to a moderate. So the drive is currently minimized. So as I increase the drive, you'll notice a change in the quality of my voice, and also I guess more the sensitivity. What it does is the drive enhances certain overtones. It gives the higher overtones more prominence. So I do believe that there was a high drive when the actor recorded his Laurel, and that you're hearing the Yanny is really just the overtones of the word that he said amplified. And it also depends on which kind of speakers you listen to. If you listen to it through speakers that don't have the full sound spectrum, that it maybe cuts off the low end, you won't hear the Laurel so much, and you'll hear the Yanny more pronounced. There's tons of videos out there where people adjusted the pitch of the video, and you can hear the Yanny more when the whole file has been lowered, and if you raise the file, the Laurel comes out. It's just more about what it is. True that you will hear whichever word, whichever pitches you are more sensitive to, but he is saying them both at the same time, and the Yanny, the higher pitches, are really just the overtones. Saying Laurel, but resonating the sound Yanny. Let's face it, Yanny's not really a word, maybe a name, but every time I heard the video, people primed the listener. Do you hear Laurel? Do you hear Yanny? It wasn't just play the sound clip, what do you hear? They always gave people the idea of Yanny. And to be honest, the first time I ever heard this clip was through my car speakers, my car radio speakers, and it was over the air through an FM channel. And the first time I heard Yanny, I was told to listen for Yanny. Yanny is not a word. It's not. Maybe it's a name. I have no idea what Yanny means. And that also emphasizes my point. Yanny is not a word. Yanny is just the overtones of this word that happen to sound like something that could represent a word or a name. My favorite way to demonstrate overtones is with a brass singing bowl. This is very nice. It's a brass bowl that has a very nice acoustic sound to it. You use a wooden dowel to either tap it like a mallet It's approximately a G3. Or you can take the dowel and rub it along the outer edge, like drawing a bow across a violin string. And you notice that they actually have different sounds. That G is quite prominent this time that I'm playing it. If I hold it in a different way, I tend to shut off the lower frequencies and only the high frequencies will resonate. Ooh. I got a very high G, the edge of the keyboard G. That's a 4, 5, 6, G7. Did you hear that? I can hear a G7 in there, but it has the full bloom of the fundamental G4. But you can hear all of those extra pitches in the bowl. The bowl itself is not changing shape or doing anything to alter its pitch. It's a solid piece of brass. What's happening is that as you are activating these lower frequencies, these higher frequencies, which are kind of like a smaller part or can be a smaller part of the frequency, are becoming part of the full sound bloom. I like to call it the overtone bloom. So you notice there's a different overtone bloom between even just the way that you tap it. I tap it there, you can hear that fundamental more. I tap it more on the edge. Well, approximately a G. It's kind of in between. So that versus that's a G6 that you're hearing in that. So the G6 is kind of like a factor, like to speak numerically, how you can take 6 and the factors of 6 are 2 and 3 and they're smaller. You can think of these lower pitches as more complex numbers and these higher pitches as factors of them at times. Like they can fit into the sound wave. All octaves can fit into the previous octave because they're a factor of 2 in frequency. So what is happening in the Laurel Yanny video is this voice actor, his vowels and his consonants, even the L, you can get overtones on an L. I'm gonna adjust my drive and my gain so that the overtones become more pronounced. I'm gonna up my drive. I'm gonna max out my gain. An L. So, okay, I'm gonna turn that down now. Okay. Yeah, that's about where I had it. Okay, so I upped my drive and I upped my gain on my preamp, and I know that brings out the overtones in my voice. I'm not going to practice how to say Yanny with the overtones of the word Laurel. I think that would take me too much time to really be worth it. It would be a fun party trick, but only for maybe another couple months. I don't know. However long people remember about this. But I at least hope that I've demonstrated that an L can have an overtone that sounds like a Y, an E, Laurel. Like I said, it would take too much time for me to practice. I think part of it is he's probably more of a bass voice than I am, so the specific pitches that he says it on, it's easier for his whole mechanism to hit those other overtones. This is chiaroscuro. This is what opera singers want. They want to be able to hit those overtones while they're singing. In general, it's not always true, but in general, the prettier your overtones, the prettier people think that your voice is. Or at least maybe the more fuller. It really depends on you. And if you start to notice overtones while you speak and while you sing, you're already taking a massive step forward in terms of becoming a better singer or even a better speaker. I hope you liked this video. Please subscribe. I only just changed my setup, so I hope this setup is going to be a lot easier for me. You notice I have the headphones now. That's because I actually have a camcorder where I can feed in my nice cardioid microphone, which I love so much. I can live listen to what I'm creating. I'm able to, yeah, oh my goodness. I hope this works out. If this works out and these videos are a lot easier, I ultimately will raise the frequency with which I post my videos. Ideally, maybe once a week, like many other channels. I will have to take hiatuses once in a while because I am a performer. I do have contracts. I have contracts coming up. So I'm going to make these videos when I have the time. All right. I hope you enjoyed it. Please subscribe. I'll see you next time. Bye. That also emphasizes my point that Yanny really is just... Oh, it's this video. Hold on. Come on.